A family divided seeds of discord in King David's house. King David's life, a tapestry woven with threads of triumph and tragedy, offers a poignant reminder of the human condition. He was a man after God's own heart, yet he was flawed. His family, far from the idyllic picture one might imagine, became embroiled in a series of events that shook the very foundation of his kingdom. The book of 2 Samuel unveils this tragic saga, a story of betrayal, rebellion, and the devastating consequences of sin left unchecked. David, despite his love for God, was a man of passion. This passion, often a source of strength, became a dangerous vulnerability. It led him to commit adultery with Bathsheba, resulting in a pregnancy he desperately tried to conceal. When these machinations failed, he orchestrated the death of her husband, Uriah the Hittite. This sin, a grievous offense against God and man, cast a long shadow over David's reign. It opened the door to turmoil within his own family, a family soon to be torn apart by jealousy, hatred, and revenge. The story of Amnon, Tamar, and Absalom is not just a historical account, it's a timeless cautionary tale, a stark warning about the destructive power of sin. It illustrates how one act of transgression can set in motion a chain of events with far-reaching and devastating consequences. The narrative, raw and unflinching, lays bare the human capacity for both great love and unimaginable cruelty. As we delve into the events of 2 Samuel, we'll witness the unraveling of a family. We'll see how the seeds of discord, sown in the fertile ground of David's sin, grew into a bitter harvest of pain, loss, and regret. The story, though ancient, holds up a mirror to our own lives, challenging us to confront the darkness within ourselves and to seek the healing balm of forgiveness and reconciliation. Amnon's betrayal, a sin that shattered a family. The seeds of discord sown by David's sin found fertile ground in the hearts of his sons. Amnon, David's eldest son, developed a consuming lust for his half-sister Tamar, a beautiful and virtuous young woman. Consumed by his desire, Amnon allowed his heart to be poisoned by lust, disregarding the sacred bonds of family and morality. He plotted to have Tamar brought to his house, where he violated her in a horrific act of betrayal. 2 Samuel chapter 13 verse 14 captures the chilling indifference in Amnon's voice after the deed was done. "Now then, get up and go." Tamar, shattered and deeply wounded, pleaded with Amnon, "No, my brother, don't force me. Such a thing should not be done in Israel. Don't do this wicked thing." But Amnon, his heart hardened by lust, refused to listen. He cast her out, leaving her to grapple with the trauma and shame of his actions. The repercussions of Amnon's actions reverberated throughout the house of David. Tamar, once vibrant and full of life, was left emotionally and spiritually scarred, a stark contrast to the carefree princess she once was. The act of incest, a grave sin in the eyes of God, shattered the illusion of peace within David's family. It exposed the raw undercurrents of jealousy, anger, and resentment that simmered beneath the surface. This pivotal event set the stage for a tragic chain of events. Amnon, blinded by his lust, failed to foresee the devastating consequences of his actions. He underestimated the depth of Absalom's love for Tamar and the ferocity with which he would avenge his beloved sister's honor. The stage was set for a cycle of violence and vengeance, a cycle fueled by unchecked anger and the thirst for retribution. Absalom's revenge, justice or fury. News of Amnon's heinous act reached Absalom, Tamar's full brother. A fierce love for his sister burned within him, and upon hearing of her violation, a cold fury gripped his heart. He became consumed by a desire for justice, or perhaps vengeance. Absalom, a man of action, vowed to avenge his sister's honor, even if it meant taking matters into his own hands. For 2 years, Absalom waited, nursing his rage and plotting his revenge. He played the part of the dutiful son, all the while harboring a deadly secret. Then, at a sheep-shearing festival, Absalom found his opportunity. With calculated precision, he arranged for his men to murder Amnon, extinguishing his brother's life as payment for the sin he had committed against Tamar. And the servants of Absalom did to Amnon as Absalom had commanded. Then all the king's sons arose, and each man got on his mule and fled. 2 Samuel chapter 13, verses 28 to 29. Absalom's act was a brutal one, born out of a twisted sense of justice. While understandable in the context of the ancient world's customs, it speaks volumes about the destructive nature of revenge. Rather than bringing peace or closure, Absalom's actions only plunged the family deeper into chaos and bloodshed. The cycle of violence, set in motion by Amnon's sin, continued its relentless course. the seeds of rebellion, Absalom's plot against King David. In the aftermath of Absalom's rebellion, King David faced immense grief and turmoil. The kingdom was left in disarray, and the once united family was now broken beyond repair. Despite the chaos, David sought to restore peace and order. He mourned the loss of his children and reflected on the consequences of his actions. The tragic tale of Amnon, Tamar, and Absalom serves as a somber reminder of the complexities of family dynamics and the far-reaching impact of sin and betrayal. As David walked through the empty corridors of the palace, memories of happier times haunted him. He could hear the laughter of his children and see their innocent faces. But those days were gone, replaced by sorrow and regret. The weight of his decisions pressed heavily on his heart, a constant reminder of the price of his sins. David's journey to rebuild his kingdom and heal his family was long and arduous. He had to navigate through the pain, the anger, and the distrust that had taken root. But through it all, he held on to hope that one day his family would find forgiveness and that the kingdom would rise from the ashes of rebellion stronger than before. And so the story of King David serves as a poignant lesson. It reminds us that even in the face of great adversity and heartache, there is always a path to redemption. It is a journey fraught with challenges, but one that ultimately leads to growth, understanding, and peace. The fate of Absalom and his family is a tale of sorrow and reflection. Absalom, in his quest for power and vengeance, met a tragic end. During the fierce battle in the forest of Ephraim, Absalom's long hair became entangled in the branches of a great oak tree, leaving him helplessly suspended between heaven and earth. Despite King David's explicit orders to deal gently with his son, Joab, the commander of David's army, saw an opportunity to end the rebellion once and for all. He struck Absalom with 3 darts, and his men finished the deed. The news of Absalom's death broke King David's heart. As he awaited the messenger, his mind raced with fear and hope. But when the words finally reached him, "Absalom is dead," David's world shattered. The king wept bitterly, crying out, "Oh, my son Absalom, my son Absalom, would God I had died for thee, O Absalom, my son, my son." David's grief was profound, a father's lament for his lost child, and a king's sorrow for the civil strife that had torn his nation apart. The palace, once filled with the sounds of joy and laughter, now echoed with the king's anguished cries. Yet amidst the mourning, a sense of resolution began to emerge. David realized that his own failings had set the stage for this tragedy, and he sought to mend the broken ties within his family. In the days that followed, David worked tirelessly to restore unity and order. He reached out to the tribes of Israel, urging them to come together and heal the wounds of rebellion. He extended grace to those who had opposed him, understanding that forgiveness was the first step towards reconciliation. The story of Absalom's death and King David's subsequent actions serve as a powerful reminder of the complexities of leadership and the enduring strength of a father's love. It is a tale of heartbreak and hope, demonstrating that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can find a way to rise above despair. And so, the saga of King David and his family closes with a message of redemption and renewal. It teaches us that while the past may be marred with mistakes and pain, the future holds the promise of healing and new beginnings. David's journey, marked by loss and learning, stands as a testament to the resilience of the human heart and the enduring power of forgiveness. Thank you for watching. There are links if you want to support my work. May the Creator bless you always.